Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella. As per usual, I am going to start something new in 2023. We're going to do a collective reading today and just see what comes through. I've just done a big cleanse of this deck. I'm not going to have any agenda, spirit. And I've just poured some white light into this deck so that we can get the collective energies, whatever they may be, coming through as clear as possible and see what's in store for January. All the decks that I use will be linked below. Plus, as always, all the details for everything else that I offer. Spirit, speak. Okay, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Six of Cups, Six of Wands. Wow, okay. Two aces, two six. And lots of cup energy. The Knight, the Three, the Ace, and the Six of Cups. Heavy emotions. Or actually, I should say joyful emotions. Not so heavy. And Page of Wands. Interesting. I feel like a lot of us have got some good news happening. We're going back to work. We're definitely moving forward on an emotional aspect. Possibly like having victory over our emotional state. Whew, I just got really hot. I feel like the holidays have been, although abundant and fulfilling, I also feel at times it's also felt as it can be, right? And I don't want to just infer this because it can be like this, but I do feel like there was a sense that it was equal parts joyous in perhaps ways that were like traditional, whether that was friends or family that you celebrated something with. But I do also get the sense that, because this is overall a really beautiful spread, but I do have this underlying sense that there were some things that were cutting to your emotions, that cut through the emotions is what I'm hearing there. But if we're focusing on January, you can expect much of the same, but you're actually starting to take your emotional state into your own hands. You may be heading out on a quest in January, consciously or unconsciously, to focus on joy, to focus on bringing new emotional harmony into balance for yourself. Harmony. And this is a harmonious card. The Six of Cups is definitely a harmonious card. And it's very similar to the Three of Cups in that sense. The Three of Cups can talk about excessive drinking though. So just be mindful of that. But it's getting together with people. It's reconciliation. Potentially with people from your past. We are in a Mercury retrograde period at the moment. So there could be people, and especially with the Page of Wands and good news and communication coming in, and the Ace of Swords with change. And the Ace of Cups, you know, someone offering their cup of love to you, potentially even an apology, which is normally the Page of Cups, but I feel this Ace of Cups, it's this sense of peace with this dove at the top here. It's just giving me, you're becoming more peaceful within yourself, and it's actually reverberating into the universe and perhaps bringing you a sense of balance in friends that you're being quite careful about choosing, and as you reconcile with people from your past, or when you have reunions with people from your past, I think you're starting to see, or we as a collective, we are starting to see that we need to be quite assertive. We need to be quite, I just heard adaptable, but that's actually not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the opposite of that word. Just very selective of, you start to see who really fulfilled you. I'm really getting like a call back to your youth, right? And a call back to simpler, happier times. And with that, you might be having reunions with people from childhood or past or university days or something like that. And like even neighborhood friends. And it's actually showing you the kind of characteristics that you perhaps want to start looking for in friendships again, so that you can avoid that underlying feeling of loneliness, that underlying feeling of, I want this to last, right? This is so positive. So it's actually so strange that I'm getting this underlying message of it might be too good to be true, right? This period of time where I feel a lot of us are lonely in a sense. Things haven't quite worked out in events and agendas and getting people to align. I just heard like herding cats. Some of you might have had trouble pulling people together over the holidays. And that's left us in a state of feeling a little bit lonely, but it's actually quite refreshing and quite peaceful, and we're finally having enough room. This piece is bringing us enough room to allow other people to come back in for a reason, to remind us just how fulfilling certain friendships can be and what those qualities are in those people, so that we can go and find more of those people. This owl is collecting wands. It's collecting sticks to build a nest. I feel like you're really coming back to what is important in friendship, so that you can create a tribe that feels right for you. And I'm hearing a lot of support, people that support you. You know, a lot of the times we can think we want to run away from childhood friendships because they know too much. But I do feel there's an element of nostalgia here where they know enough to celebrate the true you. I just heard the song. It's a very Aussie song, so some of you probably haven't heard it. Hey True Blue. But there's just something really like mateship about this. It's such an Aussie song that it just brings about this sense of mateship. Like, things might not be the ideal version of friendship that you kind of like put on a pedestal, but it's matey enough that it's like good banter. You know, you've got people that make you laugh. You're just having good, simple fun again. And it's reminding you of what's actually really important in that sense, and how important friendship is for you. How important friendship is about the decisions you're making in your life towards the goals and aspirations that you have for this year. And especially even related to love. It's like, well, if you have a love interest in mind, but their friends wouldn't get on with your friends, it's almost like a complete red flag for you at this point. You know? There's a really jovial sense of mateship coming through, and it's like they'd give you the shirt off their back. They'd give you the shirt off their back. So that's really nice. I like this. There has been a sense of like pride that's possibly held you back from reconnecting with these people. But in fact, when you do, you realize that these people have a lot of the same things in common, or they're thinking or going through a lot of the same things as you at this point. And there's a triumph in that. There's a big sigh of relief in that. And I think you all have a lot of good news to share. It's taking things away from, You know how when Facebook first came out and everyone knew everyone's business, so no one really needed to catch up, or at least that was what people's excuses were. And say you bumped into someone you know out of the blue, you'd be like, oh yeah, I heard about that. And they're like, oh, how? And oh, Facebook. But you didn't hear about it. I feel like it's bringing back that face-to-face good old fun times. All right, what else have we got here? 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think we all want to be moving out of the struggle and hardship, and so we're really wanting to bring about better relationships. I actually feel like that's the end of that message. Pop these cards back in. What else have we got, Spirit, for the collective in January? I feel very at peace. Like as soon as I sat down to do this reading, it just felt very at peace. The energy's picking up though with that sun flying out. The Tower. Something's about to change quite suddenly. I think you feel it coming though. Something that needs to go. I just heard something that needs to go. It's been blocking you. It's been causing you some inner conflict, inner turmoil. Got some decisions to make. Yeah, okay. Something is like burning too hot with this sun energy and then the Tower. It's like it's burning too hot. And you need a release on this situation. With the Devil, and what else came out? This 10 of Swords too. This is the end of something. This is the end of an obsession. This is end of a addiction. This is the end of something that you were unhealthily attached to. What are we unhealthily attached to here, Spirit? Something you already know. Something you already know. Something that's causing debate and indecision and back and forth. And you've been blindfolded to this. What is it related to? 8 of Pentacles. Something to do with career. How you make your money. How you work with others. I think you've really... I mean, we've all been working too hard. And this is really giving me like, okay, we need to just slow down, tap into our inner voice, in our inner knowing, right? With this Knight of Wands is definitely about our passions and our passion projects and what we actually want to work on. But the High Priestess has got this wisdom and something that you want to keep close to your chest. So you might go through this alone. You might be going through this right now where you've got this new, it's almost like this newfound inspiration. Your heart chakra has been lit up, this newfound inspiration, and it just sets like a bomb underneath you, and you just want to like blow shit up. You want to blow up your life in a good way because it's separating you from fears and it's pushing you towards like the healthier desires, because there's a death of this shadow energy, right? The Tower, the Devil, the 10 of Swords. It's like it's all changing. It's all making... I mean, I often see the 5 of Wands as something that can be like competitive and it can be combative and people are like jostling with their wands. But I also see it as if they could all just stand still and put their wands in order, they could actually build like a house. They could build something quite... sustainable. They could build something that was worth, like they could build a proper bonfire that would then set fire in a good way, like reignite things in a good way. They have to communicate though. There's a communication element to the 5 of Wands as well. It's healthy debate, but it needs to be balanced out. It needs to be, I feel like you need to be a clear leader in this situation and a leader of your own life. Potentially this has to do with someone else, and it could be 2 Leos that you're dealing with here. I know they're like cats or lions. Cats or tigers, I should say, not lions. But it gives me Leo vibes. Yeah, it could be between 2 people or 2 choices that you have to make, because you've got the 2 of Swords here and you're blindfolded with the decision. You're humming and hawing about the decisions, but I do feel like you've got the Devil on one shoulder and the Sun on the other shoulder, and you're making this decision for yourself to set yourself free so that you can build a bonfire that comes back to this Sun energy that actually like ignites this. You know, it's like a seed was ignited in your heart. Once you remove all of this and close out this chapter, you've taken leadership of your own life. You've made the decision. You've taken the blindfold off. You've seen clearly. Then you're able to turn these wands that were once like just a higgledy-piggledy mess, and you've made them into a bonfire that can withstand the whole night. And it may be coming out of a dark night of the soul. It may be coming out of a place of unhealthy habits. It might not be as dramatic as the dark night of the soul. Perhaps you've already done that, and this is just like a little blip, like a little reminder of, don't go back to that. You need to move forward, right? Ten of Cups. I said, what's coming forward? Ten of Cups. Emotional fulfillment and emotional happiness and groundedness and family and friends. Building stronger relationships and feeling really confident within yourself as well. There's a prosperity element that is being blocked by all three of these things here, and you know it. And now you're finally taking action on this. This is big, sudden, destructive action. You've got the third eye in the cloud, right? So I feel like you've really understood something here. You've got the third eye in the vase here, and you've got the third eye on the skull. On those three cards. The eye is on almost every card. So there's a definite like understanding within you that you had to push for this. But you might just need, I'm feeling that we just need a little bit of reassurance that it's all going to be okay this month. You know, that it's such a time of pressure when it comes to new beginnings. But you want the Ten of Cups over the Ten of Swords any day. You know, unless like, of course it serves its purpose, but I feel like the Ten of Cups is just that contentment that you've been looking for. Six of Pentacles, yeah. You want to be able to give and receive generously. And I think that's coming for you. It's just been blocked. Wow, this is really like powerful moves you're making here. King of Pentacles, as I say that, powerful moves. Someone who is reliable and generous, right? That's Six of Pentacles. That's you. You want to be generous with your time. You want to be generous to other, like, things that you're passionate about. You want to be generous with your emotions to someone. You want to be generous with wealth as well. And the King of Pentacles can get that done. The Four of Cups, you're sick of living in apathy. And you know that something needs that transformation. You know, that Ten of Swords and the death energy, it's like this transformation is almost like long overdue. And what happens after the death is the rebirth. What happens after something has been burnt is the regrowth. Then you'll be able to see the opportunities clearly. It's almost like a huge decluttering of your life. It's almost like a backburning. So I'm sure they do it all over the world, but there's a lot of backburning that goes on at this time of year, or even before summer, really. We're in the Southern Hemisphere here, and a lot of backburning clears the way so that bushfires and wildfires don't eat up all of society, basically, which nearly happened a few years ago. And so I think it's helping you to clear out the stuff that could potentially ignite from a stray flame that you didn't want to catch fire, and that if that caught fire, it could cause more conflict and drama for you in your life, and you just don't want that. And so it's like you're just clearing out all the weeds, you're getting the leaves out of the gutters. You're really like clearing up your space, and I mean like your physical space, your mental space, your environmental space as well, like what is around you, so that you can see the opportunities to give and receive. There's a lot of gifts coming towards you, and you're sitting in your power to be able to do this. You've got what it takes to do this. You've got the confidence to do this. You've got the right mindset to do this. This is coming from a really compassionate place. And you know, this might be hard. This might be difficult. This might be stressful. But you actually know, without a shadow of a doubt, this is what has to be done. And you're suited up for it. You know, you've got your heat protected suit on. And you're directing the course of this fire. That's what I'm hearing. You're directing the course of this fire. With your one wand, it's almost like magic. Instead of a fiery torch wand, it's almost like a magic wand where you're like swooshing the flames in the direction that it needs to go. Burn this, keep this, you know, light this up. And what you want to light up for, and this is coming into the whole year, this energy is what you want to feel. It's almost like you've said to yourself, I don't want to feel this way. Last month, you've said, I don't want to feel that way about the holiday season ever again. It may have been good, okay, possibly great, but there was that underlying thread in that first spread of cards that felt just not quite satisfied, not quite fulfilled. Something just a little bit lonely, something just a little bit off. And when you're recreating your friendships in that first spread, you're making way for all of this to happen as well. You can do hard things, I just heard. You can do hard things. Glennon Doyle. What else, Spirit? What else is going on here? Collective energies. Ooh, 3 of Swords. I think you're trying to avoid, I just heard the inevitable. You're trying to avoid heartbreak. I think if you stay in this energy, this is your warning sign. That you know it's going to break your own heart in some way. Because you're either going to miss an opportunity, you're going to either disappoint someone. I feel you're going to disappoint yourself because you couldn't help someone the way that you know that you can, because you were too attached to whatever this was. What was the Tower and the 10 of Swords and the Devil? What was that? Or what is that that we need to remove ourselves from? We were holding on to something that was a little bit risky, hoping that it would be the bright, shiny object we were looking for, but we actually know that it was all an illusion. So something you were holding on to, and this being the Cups energy, it could have been an emotional situation, a relationship, or it's a work situation, and it's success, right? Because all these bright, shiny objects were here, and we were desperately trying to hold on to something, and we were leaping off the cliff before we had all the information. We were willing, I feel like we were willing to, but we know that it's actually like got player energy, or it's fake, or it's not as sustainable as it could be. And that's where that 3 of Swords came in, where it feels like to avoid heartbreak, you know you need to put this situation to bed. Okay, Spirit. Whew, interesting. Let's get one of these cards. Change, self-reflection, the path ahead, and patience. Wow, these all look like portals. Like a circular portal is being formed here with the change. Ow. Self-reflection in the mirror. You're really taking a good look at yourself. The path ahead, it's a portal to this new success, this 10 of Cups that was coming through. Look at all these portals. Just be patient. The Temperance card here. It's almost like you're waiting to celebrate something, right? But you just need to temper your emotions for a minute. And I'm hearing like a tiny bit of hermiting, a tiny bit of going within, getting quiet, you know, focusing on your work, focusing on what's important. I'm hearing list making and journaling as well, because I keep going like this. There's a patience of just wait your turn to step through the portal, because at just the right moment, the universe is going to open up that portal tremendously for you. And you know it because you've been looking in the mirror. You've been looking at all sides of yourself, I hear. This is a thunder moon, a waning gibbous, a waxing crescent, and a green corn moon. The moon cycles are really directing you. I'm also hearing that you might also be having health changes that come about with the moon, and you actually already know that it's the moon, but just go and get checked with certain things as well. Interesting. Just going to use the Work Your Light Megadeck. Advice for the collective, please, Spirit. Advice for the collective. January. Star ancestors. Hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Yeah, there's this knowing that's really coming to light for you. This is why you're making these changes. It might not make sense to anyone else. Fill up your well, retreat, rest, refuel. What did I say? Right? Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. It's that devil energy, cut it away. 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords. You need that new beginning. You need that fresh start. What are we dealing with here, Spirit? Recognition, reward for merit, unicorn, use your intuition to make a beneficial change. Torch, yeah, the Knight of Wands, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Bread, period of prosperity and abundance to come after we do this work. Fly, a period of ill health or depression. That's on the horizon if we don't make this change. You may have been getting hints at this and the universe is just tickling you with the feather to say, hey, pay attention. It's going to throw a brick at you next if you don't pay attention, right? Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. I feel like that's us at the minute, but you are willing to change. Chain of events that will affect your life. Yes. One way or the other. Like, it's almost like you're at the fork road. Why can't I get that word out? At the fork of the road. And you're either choosing the devil or you're choosing the 10 of cups. You're either choosing the 10 of swords or the 10 of cups. Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. That right there. That right there. Know your worth, which you do. And make the change necessary. Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. This is giving me Tower energy. You got to boot that thing out of your life. Or multiple things. And then Lobster. Financial pinch. It might hurt. It might hurt in some ways. But there is great prosperity that was coming through in those cards as well. Great prosperity. King of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Wands as well. There's a lot of victory and success to come when you make these changes. And these changes will have a domino effect. So it's almost like a snowball that starts small and like the momentum is quite tough. You know, it needs a bit of torque to get going. And then it just has this knock-on effect. It has this out of control effect. It just starts rolling so quickly. It's exponentially improving, right? With very little effort. But you have to be the ram, and you have to be stubborn enough to push this snowball down the I just heard down the wall, okay? You don't want to be just another brick in the wall. Interesting. Letting go. Wow, this is fascinating. I'm so glad I'm doing these. Please let me know if this resonates, because I feel certain things resonating with me and I'm just sitting here channeling. I love these cards. The affirmator cards. Patience. Hello again. Magic. Letting go. This is it. 100%. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let go because I have enough heavy things to carry around, and also grudges aren't a great look. Yep. If you want to take a risk and you want to take that leap of faith like that Fool card that came out before, lighten the load first. Lighten the load of grudges, lighten the load of all the crap in your life that isn't working. So that if you do need to take the leap, you're not going to fall in a heap because you're too heavy, you're too weighed down with things that aren't important anymore. They don't matter anymore. There is a sense of nostalgia that you're carrying around as well, and it's okay to let that go and let it last in your memory and live in your memory, but not live in your psyche, not live in your heart, not like close up the heart space, but also not just live in your home. You can throw things out and still have a beautiful memory of it. It's giving you space to bring in more. Magic. I believe in magic. I see evidence of it all the time. And though the tricks can probably be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence, and I'll fill mine with, holy crap, that's unbelievable. That's what you want. That was the underlying message on the first spread. We don't want just mere coincidences, which are lovely and can look synchronistic at times. It can look like things are all like lining up for us. But when we're the magician energy, right? And this is card number 1 in the tarot, the magician energy. It's really about, wait, is it? I don't know. I just got sidetracked there. This is really about you have everything in your toolkit to achieve everything that you've ever dreamed. And it's time to take those dreams off the dusty shelf, right? And actually put them in your heart. That's what's important in January. You know, we can always talk about the January, new year, new me, but I feel like this is dusting off something that's been dormant inside you for a very long time. And that was the nostalgia. That was the reconciliation with childhood friends or childhood places that was bringing this about. And you want to pull this rabbit out of a hat. But there's a sense of keeping it to yourself as you heal, as you go through this like transformation, as you take all that baggage out. As you have this thing that's you're literally been ripped out of your life, I feel like you're making a sudden decision, but it's not sudden because I feel like you've been ruminating on this decision for so long. And then you've got this patience. Congratulations, you've been granted more patience. You may start using it up right away or much, much later. Waiting a long time is the sort of option now afforded to you by greater patience. Can you believe it? Look at this. You're still reading and you haven't started getting annoyed yet. Imagine how this patience will transform your life. Imagine how easy it will be to go to the post office. Right? This lightening of your load is going to take some time. I just heard 36 days because I looked at that card and it says 36, and that's the patience card that we pulled earlier. Green corn moon. There's a portal of new opportunity awaiting you. Full of potential. There's a full moon back there. Right? It's full of potential. But with your patience and perseverance, there's magic in this process. I'm very excited for this. Please let me know if it resonated. I'm going to end it there, guys. And like and subscribe so you can see more videos. And next month, I'm going to do another collective reading. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye.